So next I'd like to speak about neck tension. Neck tension is something we all have in part because so many people spend so much time looking down at their phone. It's one of the main things that massage therapists see these days in terms of their practice. So, one of the things that I'd really encourage you to do is not walk and use your cell phone. I think that leads to a lot of potential falling, and not to mention bumping into people, and not paying attention to your surroundings. Especially in this day and age, I think it's really important to stay aware of your surroundings. If you have a headset and you're listening to your phone, that's one thing. But when people are trying, it just is annoying to me. When people are trying to text and walk and not paying it. Oh, sorry. Oops, sorry. That shouldn't be the case. We should be looking at other people. We should be saying, hi, how's your day? Nice to see you. Anything. It's not a conversation. It's just acknowledging people. And I believe in today's world, we need to acknowledge each other a little bit more. Um, we have feelings of apprehension a lot of times when we go out. I certainly see that here in Portland between people who are on the street who might be houseless and a little bit uncomfortable for us to be around, or people with mental illness that are out and about. And instead of just trying to make a wide berth, just casually walk by them. They're not going to be bothering you, but just give them a little eye contact. I think we all feel better when we have a little more contact with each other. We don't have to engage, but just acknowledge that person. For myself, when I pass people, I am always talking, and I'll just say something like, lovely afternoon, isn't it? Or great day to be out walking. Just for people, especially who live alone, engaging in those little couple second conversations will really help you feel quite not so alone. And being alone is something that we are having a hard time with coming out of COVID. And so it's really important that you figure out what's comfortable for you. Even if it's just a nod or a little smile, it doesn't even have to be words. And generally, people aren't going to engage with you. They're just going to go, yes, it is, and move on through. So, getting back to talking about next, that we do is the other thing we do is we are on our computers at home. We might be knitting. A lot of people knit or crochet or do handwork of one kind or another that, again, allows us to keep our heads down for long periods of time. When we do that, generally we're not breathing. You're going to hear me talk about breathing a lot in the course of this conversation that we're going to be having. So when we concentrate, we're in fear or we're in pain, we just hold our breaths. You maybe have never paid attention to this at all, but it's very true. If you just take the next time you go out, pay attention to how much you breathe or you don't breathe. And breathing is also the thing that helps relax muscles. So, one of the ways that I think it's important to understand about how breathing works is to just sit tall and make sure your shoulders are down and just take a couple of slow, deep breaths. If you have allergies or you have something that restricts your being able to breathe, then you need to breathe in and out of your mouth. If you have a cold, if you do not have these issues, I've found that there's many schools of thought on breathing, but if you breathe in through your nose, out your mouth, that helps clear your lungs more and encourages you to take a little deeper breath. So let's just practice that for a moment. Okay, let's take a second. How did that feel for you? Some people, in the course of doing that, their bodies are so not used to taking in that kind of level of breathing that they start to yawn. We'll talk about that when it comes to speaking about sleeping. But it really does make a difference. You're sending oxygen throughout your whole body, which is causing your whole body to relax a little bit. It's not like it's time to take a nap, relax, but it's just not being so muscle tight as what might what might be happening as we proceed through our day. So, breathing is going to be extremely important, and it's extremely important when you exercise. I've been teaching arthritis exercise for over 10 years to a class of about 17 people, the oldest being 92 now, and the youngest being 69. And what we do a lot is remind each other to breathe. When you live by yourself, that's kind of a difficult thing to do. But one of the things that I have made available to you is a sheet that has breathe on it. It's written like 12 or 14 times. I encourage you to print a couple copies of that out. Take one of the copies and cut it all up into small pieces and put them places you spend time. Like put them on your desk, put one on your desk where you do your computer work. Put one over your bathroom mirror. Put one in your kitchen where you wash dishes. Put one wherever you spend time, where you do your knitting, your crocheting, those kinds of things. Even if it's on the floor in front of you, it's a little conscious reminder to continue to breathe and not to hold your breath. So when you look at that in terms of exercise for your neck, you want to maybe put your hand on the side of your head and you want to stretch it over, and you'll find that maybe it'll only go this far. Maybe it'll go this far. But when you do this, you'll be able to feel the tightness in your neck, sometimes down into the top of your shoulders. And so I want you to just stay here. Why don't you do this with me right now? Just put your hand on the side of your head. Now, the key is not to jerk your head back up, but take your hand off, slowly lift your head up. And generally, people will feel this side feels a little longer. And it looks, you can see it here on the screen, it looks lower than this side. Okay? That's because we did a good job. Put your hand on the other side. And slowly bring it up. There you go. Now you can see both my shoulders are about even. So this isn't a difficult task. This is exercise. This is stretching. You will see in the diagram that's being presented to you the side muscles of your neck. There's quite a few of them there. They all attach at different places. The SCM muscle, which is also called the whiplash muscle, is one of those most important muscles, and I'm going to teach you how to stretch that. It goes from the base of your jaw here down. It's this big muscle that sticks out right here. And it stops here at your clavicle. Your clavicle is this bone that goes across the top of your ribs here, and it has two attachment heads. So if you want to work on this muscle, if you've been in a car accident or your muscles feel extremely tight, one of the things you can do is just grab this muscle, and I would start up at the top. It's going to be hard for me to talk and show you at the same time. But you grab this muscle and you just hold it and breathe. And you move your hand down a little bit. and further down. And you'll see the more you turn your head, the more stuck out that muscle will be. So it'll be easier to grab. And you keep going until you get down to your clavicle. And again, excuse me, sit up, look at what's going on, feel what's going on. And this side should probably feel a bit different than this side. Okay, so now you go to the other side, same thing. When you put your hands on your clavicle, start at where the clavicle starts here and work your way out. And all you want to do is touch with your fingers. And you might find that one side is more sore than the other. Doesn't matter. Just breathe. 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 Until you get out to the side.